It's Monday, so let's continue with the Game of Thrones rewrite. Welcome to the newest episode of SDW.
Super Dario World!
It's a me,
Dario!
Woohoo! Let's go!
I'm considering trying something. I'm not exactly sure how it's going to work, but I realized I was talking with somebody over the weekend, and I realized that I have like hundreds, and I mean hundreds of sound clips from when we played the 90s Trivia Challenge, when we play Throwback Trivia. We've been playing it for a few years. And everybody's favorite part of that game is the clips. You know, you have to guess what song it is, what TV show theme it is, and what movie it is. So I decided, you know what? What if I just, grab some of the clips, and on Thursdays I just play them, like 3 quick clips, and you can guess, right? Maybe I can pull some extras, because sometimes I pull some and we don't use them, or they don't like them. They say, like, there's no way that anybody's going to know what that is. So, I mean, I'm considering doing that. Let me know. It would be really quick, just, so you could play along. Well, not really play along, but it's just see if you can guess. They'd be old ones. I wouldn't use any of the recent ones. Like I said, I have, like, over a year's worth of them. We've been doing it every Thursday for over a year now. So, I don't know. Let me know what you think. It might be like a nice little something to do on Thursdays, a little something extra, a little something special. Anyway, well, yeah, I'm completely out of it. I am burnt out. I had a very, very long, very busy weekend. Fortunately, this week, I'm going to do nothing. Nothing at all. I'm going to, well, at least for the next couple of days, I'm going to do nothing but sleep. I need to catch up on a few articles. I haven't had time to write articles, by the way. I forgot to mention, if you want to listen to the podcast, you can find it in the iHeartRadio app. Just type in Super Dario World. It's not even that one. Son of a bitch. No, just type in the show presents Super Dario World. You'll find it right there. If you want to find it on SoundCloud, iTunes. If you want, I need a nap. If you want to find it on SoundCloud, YouTube, or iTunes, you can type in Super Dario World Podcast. Okay, I'm having an aneurysm, or I'm just sleep deprived. I don't know. Either one. So I need to catch up on a whole bunch of articles. For those of you who don't know, I write articles, review articles for a website called ReviewNation.net. And last week I had no time to write any. So this week I'm aiming to do one for a video game that I was playing, Skulls of the Shogun. I already finished the game, so it's really just a matter of typing it up and then doing a quick video. I also watched the new Netflix's Rocco thing, Rocco's Modern Life. I also watched, what was it? Because I had a bunch of stuff in the background. You know what? I'll just wait on that. Plus, today, I'm going to just go home and watch TV, probably. I need a nap. Anyway, so, stuff coming along. I don't know where my brain is going, so let's just go straight into Game of Thrones Rewrite. All right, so where we last left off, our heroes, basically I just focused on the Stark girls, right? Because I hadn't really paid that much attention to them. So now I'm going to go back to another character who hadn't done much. So just a quick recap for Sansa and Arya. Arya basically decides that she starts learning a whole bunch of stuff that's happening in King's Landing, and the information that she's getting is all from the Lannister side. So she starts to grow fearful of the threat of Daenerys and decides against killing Cersei. Even though she still hadn't had the perfect opportunity to do it, but she decides, you know what, I can save her for last, or I could just let somebody else kill her. This shows one of the big things that Arya supposedly learned in the House of Black and White, which is patience. She learned to be patient, right? They didn't make her a super fucking assassin, crazy assassin. They made her clever. She had to pick the right moments. She learned patience. I don't know why they didn't focus on this on the fucking show, but she did. Anyway, she didn't just come back a fucking Terminator psycho. She came back a psycho, but a patient one. Anyway, so Arya decides to leave and head back to Winterfell after all the rumors that she've heard, and her brother dying and coming back to life, and Sansa being up there and Bran being back there. So she started hearing a whole bunch of rumors and decided to go back. Also, Sansa got Tyrion's letter. For those of you who don't remember, Tyrion and Varys sent letters to the Starks, letting them know that Littlefinger basically lied in front of Varys about who the owner of the dagger was that try to kill Bran. So you remember the Cat's Paw was hired to try to kill Bran, but Caitlyn stopped that guy, and Caitlyn and Summer stopped the guy. So pretty much, Summer was, by the way, Bran's direwolf. Anyway, so they managed to stop that guy, and that knife that was used to try and kill him. It's kind of an important knife if you saw the show, but really, it was stupid the way they used it. Anyway, so the point is, Littlefinger told Caitlyn that was his knife and that he lost it to Tyrion, and that was one of the reasons why the Starks and the Lannisters went to war to begin with, because Caitlyn basically kidnapped Tyrion. That was it, all right? And so Varys there confirmed that he was there when Littlefinger said that, and that was one of the lies that led to the war, and Tyrion confirmed that the knife was never his. So it's one of those things where Sansa's starting to, for the first time, actually doubt Littlefinger, and because before she really didn't have any solid evidence to do it. Now she's starting to get a doubt, and she started developing her own plans, starting to get power that's independent from Littlefinger's. And Jon basically didn't give a fuck. He's like, okay, I don't give a fuck right now. We're facing the dead. We need anybody who'll come here. I don't care what they did or whatever. We'll deal with that afterwards. Right now, this is what we need. Sansa's thinking a little bit ahead. She's thinking of the future. Jon is thinking of saving right now, because if we lose right now, everybody's dead. So that's kind of where the Starks are, right? So another character that I kind of left by himself for a while is Sam. So Sam, if you guys remember season 7, he's pretty much in the Citadel the whole time, which is like the university. And that's when they have the shit montage of Sam just basically carrying around pants of shit and cleaning it up and all that stuff. So that would be part of his duties, because he's a student there and it's a mentorship type of deal. But I would make it very different. Honestly, I wouldn't even shown that. To me, it's just, okay, one of Sam's duties, and it sucks. But mostly, I would have made Sam be happy there. Like, imagine he's surrounded by a whole bunch of people who love books and learning as much as he is. Dude should be stoked. Dude should be having the time of his life. He should be kind of making friends. He should be opening up his mind to new things that he never experienced before. And, so also he has a girl on the side. Gilly is in town, so he's like the only nerd who's actually getting laid. So it should be like the time of his life. He's away from the cold of the north. He has a girl that's way out of his league, and he's doing the thing that he enjoys the most. Sam should be stoked. So I would have him that he's actually having a good time in the Citadel, and that's when I think I mentioned this before, but Jorah Mormont, that's when he arrives at the Citadel trying to find a cure. So since Sam learns that Jorah Mormont is there, and Sam was there when Jorah's father died, Jorah Mormont, for those of you who don't remember, Jorah Mormont was the leader of the Night's Watch, the commander of the Night's Watch, I'm sorry, and he dies at Craster's Keep, murdered by other members of the Night's Watch. They were mutinous, and so Sam was there when that happened. So Sam would reach out to Jorah. He hears of his disease, and they reach out, and they actually kind of begin a friendship. Sam legitimately wants to try to find a way to help him. He takes an interest in his disease. So the grayscale. For those of you who don't remember, Jorah in season 7, a big part of his story was that he had grayscale. Grayscale has no fucking cure. Okay, nobody can cure it. They can maybe stop it if the kids are very young, which is what happened with the daughter of Stannis. For those of you who don't remember, Stannis had a daughter, and she had like the gray thing in her face. That's grayscale. They managed to stop it when she was very young, but in older people, when you're older, it's pretty much impossible to stop. Anyway, so Jorah has that, and through Jorah, Sam begins to learn a lot about Daenerys. And through Sam, Jorah begins to learn a lot about the North and the Night's King and everything. And so these two worlds are kind of colliding via these two characters. They're starting to see like, oh shit, this is real. The dragons are real. This woman is real, and she's actually not that bad. Because at that point, Sam's only heard the rumors, from the realm, from the sources, the Maester's sources, and the Maesters kind of don't like dragons, and so, but that's it's a different book theory. Anyway, So, but all the information they're getting is from the side of the kingdom, the Seven Kingdoms. Oh, they came with a barbarian army, with the Dothraki, with all that stuff. Everybody kind of is worried. They're in terror. But via Jorah's description, Sam started to see like, well, she went and saved them from slavery. That's a good thing, right? She did all this stuff. She actually cares for her people. Okay, maybe she's not the monster she's put out to be. On the other hand, Jorah is starting to learn that, oh shit, there are actual monsters out there. It's not just the Lannisters and everybody. It's an actual army of the undead. And at first, he kind of would probably think Sam's kind of an idiot, but after seeing how Sam's kind of like a reasonable dude, he may be like a bit of a pussy, but a reasonable dude, he maybe start to, change his tune a little. So since Jorah realizes that he doesn't have a place in the world anymore, because here are his options. He can stay in the Citadel in quarantine and hope that maybe they find a cure or maybe something that slows it down, but eventually just die in quarantine because nobody's getting close to that guy. They're studying him from a distance. And, just they can get up close and stuff with gloves, but it's limited contact. Nobody wants to be near the guy with a highly contagious fatal disease, right? I wouldn't. Would you? I wouldn't. Anyway, so Jorah is there. That's option number one. Option number two is going out in the world and, escaping because the Citadel is not just going to let him leave and, spread out. Again, just keep spreading out his disease everywhere. No, they're going to keep him there or they're going to ship him off somewhere far away where it won't spread out in their city. So he could try to escape and do that. And if he could get shipped out somewhere far away, or he could escape and start spreading out the disease, maybe make his way to King's Landing, and if he survives, maybe start spreading out the disease there to weaken his enemies, to weaken their armies and all that stuff. That's also an option. And another option is to leave and just go off into the wild, no contact with anybody. But all these are just death. Like he's just going to be waiting for death, and it's going to be a horrible, slow, painful death. So since Daenerys doesn't really want him there, she does want him, but she knows he can't stay. Pretty much, Jorah knew that he can't stay with Daenerys' army. He just can't. So he decides, you know what? I'm going to if I'm going to die anyway, I might as well go back home. Go back to the north and see with my own eyes what the hell is happening over there. Because I disgraced my family enough. So maybe the one thing I could do to regain my honor here would be to try and save them. See what I can do. See what I can be of use up there. Maybe even try to get some allies for his queen, because she's going to need help. Eventually she's going to need the North to support her. So he's like, all right, I can do that. I can at least go up there, see what's up beyond the wall, see where my father died, see all that stuff. So that is an option. However, the cold does exacerbate grayscale. So Sam does not want to let him go. He wants to tell him, like, dude, it's a bad idea. You're going to die way faster. And pretty much Jorah's like, you're all the smartest people in the world and you can't do anything for me. And I can't go back to my queen because I can't risk getting her infected. I can't risk her men getting infected. So I might as well should go to a place where I have to be completely covered up anyway and try to do something that helps my queen and atone for my sins, regain my honor in the process, saving my homeland, defending my own homeland. And also, it helps verify certain things. It helps verify to see if it's an actual threat. If not, so it could be a huge waste of time, but either way, he's going to confirm if anything is happening there or not, which would be greatly advantageous to him. So that's what Jorah is going to be doing. He decides he's going to head back north. And again, remember, time-wise, this whole season, it's kind of out of order because I'm going character by character, and it takes a little bit of time. So Jorah decides, I'm going to head back north, and I'm going to see what's what up there. Sam, on the other hand, since he failed to keep Jorah there, Sam had a few tasks John basically gave them the task of going there and prepare so you can become the maester for the Night's Watch, which requires him to learn a lot of stuff, mainly about medicine. That's the biggest thing that they need a maester for, for care and all that stuff, injuries, healing basically. But he also sent him to try to find any information about the Night King or the White Walkers or anything. So Sam has been sneaking around trying to get information. Now, in the show, they made it so that Sam figured out that there was dragon glass and dragonstone, which was one of the most retarded moments of the show because Stannis had already told him in the only conversation that Sam had with Stannis, dragon glass, obsidian. Oh yeah, we have it on dragonstone. The only conversation you'd have with a king you'd think you'd remember, especially if he tells you exactly where to find the weapon that's going to kill your greatest enemy. Anyway, and so also another ridiculous thing is because you know who was usually standing right next to Jon Snow? Davos. You know who used to live in Dragonstone? Davos. You know who was the hand of Stannis and who should probably know if there was dragon glass on an island called Dragonstone? Davos. Anyway, so yeah, retarded moment in the show. And so, but Sam does learn something very interesting in the Citadel. He starts learning a lot about dragons. So, you're researching dragon glass. You also heard that dragons are magically back in the world. So you figure, might as well research this a little bit, see what one thing has to do with the other. What are the properties that are similar between, for example, dragon's fire and obsidian, trying to find anything that they have in common. He also learned about researching, dragons, the North, dragon glass, and all that stuff. He got deeper into the story the history of Queen Alysanne Targaryen. So Queen Alysanne Targaryen, she was a dragon rider. She used to ride the dragon Silverwing. And back, I don't remember. Okay, if I tell you the date, it doesn't really matter. But a few hundred years before, when the Targaryens were still ruling, she was the queen that visited the North, and she went all the way up to visit the Night's Watch. And being so impressed by their bravery and everything, she decided to grant them the new gift, which is basically lands that would help, kind of. I actually mentioned it with the Sansa thing. Lands that are held by the Night's Watch so that they can finance their stuff, feed their own people, all that stuff. Sam also learned that while she was in the North, her dragon, Silverwing, refused 3 times to fly over the wall. It just flat out refused. It was first time it was kind of like hitting an invisible wall and above the wall. And the other 2 times it just flat out refused her. Now, if you're a dragon rider, your dragon does not refuse you. That's not a thing that happens usually because it's suspected that it's kind of a psychic link. However, Alysanne was greatly disturbed by the fact that her dragon refused an order from her and refused to go over the wall. So this is one of the reasons why she helped the Night's Watch as much as she did, because they had to they defend the realms of men from something that even her dragon feared. And he also found that during her stay in the North, she decided for the Night's Watch to get rid of their oldest castle, now the Night Fort. Now, for those of you who don't remember, and I'm pretty sure you don't, Sam and Bran met once briefly while they were crossing. Both of them were crossing through the Night Fort. Okay, and so I don't want to cross too much with the book stuff here, but I'll just stick pretty much to the things that you've seen on the show. In that castle was the Night Fort. It's abandoned because supposedly it was too big, but it was Queen Alysanne who was like, all right, just leave that castle. Now, there's a lot of legends that come out of the Night Fort. Probably the most famous one is the Night King, but there's also one of the Rat Cook. And I'll just tell you really quickly. The legend of the Rat Cook is pretty much there used to be a cook at the Night Fort, and he was mad at the king for some reason, and so he invited the king over for dinner one day, and he served them a pie made out of bacon and the king's son. So the gods were so angry at him, but not because of the murder or because, making the king a cannibal. They were mad at him because he slew a guest under his own roof. And so as a punishment, they turned him into a giant rat that could only eat its own young. So that's pretty much and supposedly he's inhabiting the Night Fort and everything. So that's the legend of the Rat Cook. Anyway, So, yeah, a lot of creepy stories coming from a place called the Night Fort, and Sam had been there. So Sam knows that there's a secret passage that gets you through the wall, and that there's a really odd door. I don't know if you guys remember this, but the door seems to be magical in a way. It's not exactly clear how, neither in book or show, but that door clearly is magical in a particular way. So Sam was inclined to believe that Queen Alysanne discovered something there. And so he's trying to rack his brain into, okay, what does this all mean? What does this all, how do the dragons and Obsidian and the Night Fort have to do? What did the queen, what did the Targaryen queen discover when she was up there? Why was she the only Targaryen ever to go there? Why? What was happening? So he decides that there's only a couple of things he can do, and he manages to get permission from the Citadel to do something particularly reckless. So his options were he could go back to the north and go check out the Night Fort, see what he can find there. He realizes that that's would be a huge waste of time. Maybe not a huge waste of time, but traveling all the way there and back for potentially nothing is not a good idea. And if he abandons the Citadel, then he would technically be, a deserter, which would mean that he could probably get killed. So by everybody in the kingdom. So he knows that it's not really a good idea. So what he decides to do is he sends a letter to Jon Snow and to Bran, basically telling them, hey, I found this information here. I think that there's something that you need to check out in the Night Fort. I think there's something that is either recorded in the text that we have up in the wall, because they have text up there that they don't have anywhere else about, things of the Night's Watch. So try to go through those and see if there's anything about the Night's Fort there, or send them to me, or go to the Night Fort and see if there's any books there about anything, or just go out there and see. Bran can take you to the door. The point is, there's something there. You need to check it out if you have the time, because I think it will be useful. The other option, which is the one that he decided to take, so he decided to, I'm not going to go up north. It'd be really inconvenient for the moment. I need to be down here. So I'll send that little tidbit of information to Jon, see what he does with it. The other thing that he could do is, well, he just had an encounter with one of Daenerys Targaryen's closest friends and allies. So before Jorah left, he convinced him to write him a letter vouching for him and requesting that she allow a contingent from the Citadel to go out and study her dragon, specifically to see if there's any relation that they could find between dragon's fire and obsidian, and to see if they could understand the relationship between rider and dragon, see if she's ever encountered a situation where the dragon after she's ridden him, does not want to obey her anymore. See a whole bunch of stuff. So Daenerys Targaryen replies, yes, but only if the man who Jorah is vouching for comes as well. So Samwell Tarly, the greatest craven in Westeros, is going to meet a dragon. And that's it. That's it for today. I think that's a good place to stop. That's Jorah and Sam did a lot. Jorah and Sam did a lot. I'm tired also, so hopefully you enjoyed that. As always, any comments, questions, or suggestions, you can always find me at Dario the Show on Instagram. Hope you have a great day, and I'll see you again tomorrow.